I did an interview with you during the pandemic, and you said we'll all come out as better human beings.
Yeah.
I don't think that happened, but do you think that happened?
Went through a really tough time by all the trolling and bashing that was happening, and it was not a nice time. I was also right at the center of so much negativity. It was really something that I never envisaged, imagined, and it was just so unnecessary, and it was not a happy time, but I feel like we're all stronger.
Alia said that she got so many messages that everybody wanted this film to do
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Did you see that unity?
While we were combating some amount of negativity
Right.
as well, there was also this huge burst of positivity
Right.
that really actually, I think it inspired so many of us to kind of put our best foot forward.
Ranbir said that what touched his heart was so many actors going to the theatre to watch Brahmastra. Do you think that's a really good sign and that's a good trend?
It was quite heartening to see, members of the film fraternity all showing up in large numbers, going and watching the film in cinema hall. When the numbers were coming out, we realized that there was a lot of anticipation to see the film.
Can you explain, has this made money for Dharma? Is this a hit for Dharma?
So the budget, like people are going on, is not a one film budget, it's a 3 film budget.
Okay.
There are 3 films. Eventually, when all 3 films are made, that it will be a big monetary success for all as well. I feel anything Ayan Mukherjee does will always make a mark. I don't think in my collective career, the kind of work I put in, he's put into this one film.
Wow.
Hi, this is me, Karan Johar, and you're watching my interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Welcome to Bollywood Hungama. I'm Rohit Khilnani. This is a special interview on Bollywood Hungama, and we have a special guest, Karan Johar. Thank you so much for giving me time.
Oh, Rohit, thank you for inviting me.
Karan, firstly, I'll talk to you about the industry at large.
Yeah.
I did an interview with you during the pandemic, and that time I remember you telling me that, we were all in such a different frame of mind, and you said we'll all come out as better human beings.
Yeah.
I don't think that happened, but do you think that happened? Because after that straight, we jumped into a negative phase.
I mean, there was a lot that was happening that was tough to deal with. Initially, in the pandemic, when the pandemic hit us in March, it seemed like it was like for us, and we come from a place of privilege, so we should absolutely appreciate and be grateful that there were so many others who were going through such tough times.
Right.
For us, it seemed like it was like downtime, family time, all that. And our constant endeavor was to kind of help people who were in need. That's why Zoe and me came together for I for India, and we did that whole show to raise funds, for people who were going through those tough times.
Right.
Then right after that, we went Bollywood, so to say, went through a really tough time by all the trolling and bashing that was happening, and it was not a nice time. Particularly, I felt like, I was also right at the center of so much negativity, and it was really something that I never envisaged, imagined, and I felt like there was so much being said and so much written that was unfair, and yet one had to kind of chin up and move on, because I eventually am accountable to my company, to my parent, to my mom, to my family, and I just felt like I had to be stronger and just kind of take it all in my stride. To be resilient was very important at that point of time. It was just so unnecessary, and I think then I'm glad that we could go past that and just focus on work. Yeah. That's what I did. I just put all my endeavors and all my just my thoughts on the work zone, whether it was for Dharma or Dharmatic, and we actually had a flow of content that was coming out, starting from Gunjan Saxena, right down to right now with Fabulous Lives. We had so much digital content out. We've had 2 theatrical releases.
Right.
So it's been, and I realized that, well, maybe not everyone came out as a stronger human being. Right. But I would like to say that there were many that were, that kind of had many lessons to learn, and all of us decided to kind of take it in our stride and just work towards there was so much Bollywood bashing that was happening, and I was like, it's so unnecessary. Everyone's really working hard, and everyone's trying to just make their place in this world and in this industry, and I just felt that, I mean, everything that transpired. It was not a happy time, but I feel like we're all stronger.
Definitely. There was a business loss during the pandemic, and there were so much discussions on will the theaters ever open, what is going to happen, will people ever come, and this all was more of an emotional beating, right? Yeah. This was more of an emotional.
So that's what we were sensing, the heat on the professional zone as well as the personal. So it was especially for we were all trying to figure out as an industry what the future is, and honestly, we're back to a lot of normalcy, but I still believe that there is an effect post-pandemic that has taken an impact on theatrical footfalls.
Right.
And content, now is being divided. There is certain content that is theatrical and some that is just not.
Right.
And there wasn't that divide earlier.
Right.
We all made films for cinema halls, and now we have to think twice that certain subjects don't lend themselves to a cinema hall. Certain genres don't lend themselves for theatrical release.
Right.
So a lot of awareness, a lot of learning, all that is happening. So it's all happening all together.
Right. I interviewed the Brahmastra team right here. Alia said that, she got so many messages that everybody wanted this film to do well.
Yeah.
Did you see that unity, and what do you think?
I did sense it, and that's rare. Because I believe that, like most industries, we're a competitive industry and everybody wants their product to kind of do better. But I feel with Brahmastra, what happened is, like, I believe everyone in the Hindi film industry felt that we really had to open to the numbers that we had and gone back to like some kind of cinematic normalcy. And I believe that a lot of people were like praying for this film. So I felt there were a lot of great collective energies that were working while we were combating some amount of negativity as well. There was also this huge burst of positivity that really actually, I think it inspired so many of us to kind of put our best foot forward.
Right. Ranbir said that, what touched his heart was so many actors going to the theatre to watch Brahmastra. Do you think that's a really good sign and that's a good trend that, he said, usually they ask for special screenings. Here they went to the theatre, and
I think everybody realized that it was a cinema spectacle. It was, in 3D, IMAX. It was like that kind of spectacle that needs to be seen on a larger screen with the best sound, best visual quality. So it was amazing that Friday morning people had all gone. I saw so many images of people, and because we didn't have any screenings, barring 2 fan screenings, we decided that we weren't going to have any screenings. It was quite heartening to see, like, members of the film fraternity all showing up in large numbers, going and watching the film in cinema halls, and it was quite a morning morning while we were getting all kinds of opinions and all kinds of feedback, and so many people were writing so many things. Yet when the numbers were coming out, we realized that there was a lot of anticipation to see the film, and also it was that theatrical spectacle that people were waiting for. Though it's been in the making for nearly 7 years, but it still kept everyone's interests alive.
Since it's been in the making for 7 years, the math of this is very different. Though it's collected 400 worldwide, 250 here. Can you explain, has this made money for Dharma? Is this a hit for Dharma Productions?
So the film is, I would say it's an all-round success for everyone concerned, not just for Dharma, every member of the film. Mainly, I would like to say this, it's an Ayan Mukherjee baby all the way. And I think he has really made a mark as a filmmaker because his trajectory has been amazing. His first film will Wake Up Sid, second being Ye Jawani Diwani, third Brahmastra. If you put these 3 films together and you don't know details, you never know the same filmmakers made these 3 films. So it's done fantastic for the cast, and we are so grateful to Shah Rukh and Nag Sir, Mr. Bachchan, everyone who stepped in and was a part of the film, Dimple ma'am. Like, everybody was in the film for the vision of it, and we're very grateful to all of them who were part of it. But the budget, like people are going on, is not a 1-film budget. It's a 3-film budget. There are 3 films. So it cannot be allocated to just one, because there are a lot of assets and properties that were created that will move to film 2 and then to film 3. So the film, eventually, I would like to believe, eventually when all 3 films are made, that it will be a big monetary success for all as well. And right now, we're just great that we crossed the first, I would say not hurdle, but the first massive stage is the acceptance of a universe. That has not happened. That way he's blended the modern world with mythology and has created an entire universe that has never happened. So they're not just 3 films, there are many films within this universe. Each Astra is a film in itself. And full marks to Ayan for actually really creating this world which is completely original. While his inspiration might be drawn from fantasy films across the world, but I think this story is original. Everything about it is completely born within him and by him.
Karan, he's made such commercial cult films. Ye Jawani Diwani, everybody knows dialogues by heart. So what made you confident that he will be able to pull this off? This is another ball game actually altogether.
Just knowing that his level of passion is one of the highest I've seen in a filmmaker. His level of commitment, his level to just do one thing and do it, and his academic mind, his accepting and acknowledging of good, bad, everything, is that kind of receptive mind. I just knew that I feel anything Ayan Mukherjee does will always make a mark. Because it's coming from a lot of labor, a lot of hard work, a lot of passion, a lot of integrity, and a lot of commitment. I have worked with many filmmakers, and we at Dharma have launched over 25 debut filmmakers. And I've worked with so many of them. But including myself, I have never seen a filmmaker work filmmaker work this hard the way Ayan has worked.
Wow.
I don't think in my collective career, the kind of work I put in, he's put into this one film.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing, and he has your backing, which is absolutely fantastic. How many spin-offs possibility would you like him to take ahead?
I think this is what Ayan Mukherjee will do for the rest of his life. And I say that in the best way
Wow.
possible. It's like he doesn't need to do anything else. Brahmastra, the Astraverse, is Ayan's contribution to cinema.
Yeah.
And single-handedly, it's him. And I think this is what so I don't think he's going to take a break to make a small love story or perhaps a different genre. Everything he will do to create this universe and be the master of that universe.
For this bigger cause, you've lost that of Ayan Mukherjee, which we also love.
Well, of course we do, but I think the kind of work that this universe requires, I don't think he'll be able to do anything but this. So I believe that when you talk to him a decade later, 2 decades later, we'll still be talking about this universe.
Right.
Hi, this is me, Karan Johar, and you're watching my interview on Bollywood Hungama.